Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk, your standard issue purple monster of a certain age who plays games on the internet. In the previous episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we started day one of the trial of Lana Skye, which, for some reason, is proceeding even though she has not recanted her confession. Anywho, the slinky lunch lady Angel Star, who turns out to be a defrocked homicide detective with an entire lumber camp full of axes to grind against the prosecutor's office, laid lie upon even more lies in her testimony, submitted her own evidence which Edgeworth hadn't seen, but had been approved by the police department behind his back, and seems to further incriminate our client. In spite of being proven to be an unreliable witness, Angel Star's most recently revised testimony is being allowed to stand, it seems. However, one piece of evidence submitted by Star has revealed a heretofore unexamined piece of evidence, a piece of cloth in the tailpipe, or as the game calls it, the muffler, of Edgeworth's car. This anachronistic phrasing is important because one of the recanted points of Star's testimony relied on Lana wearing a muffler, which is a scarf, which Star then revised to hearing Lana mention a muffler into her cell phone. Court is now in recess so that this new evidence can be collected, and so we return to day one of the trial of Lana Skye. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Emma does not look happy, at all.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand.
So, what happened to your sister?
What happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least.
Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come take a look, see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. High noon. Or there and thereabouts. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? I don't think I can say that on YouTube. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! Ooh, I'm making ribs tonight. Cool. February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Hello? What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to something the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you. I hate auto-advancing text. Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, Udgy. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smishy, Udgy. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be a nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Yeah, thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Okay. Name's Gert. Damon Gert. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey! That's my sister's muffler!
So, Ms. Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Ms. Sky really was wearing that muffler. Well, damn and blast. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less.
Oh, what's that?
It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
SL62. What is that thing?
Well, what's this? Is what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth.
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
I've no desire to hear your excuses.
I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth?
That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had...
Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah! The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Oh, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. All right. Oh, it's another one of these things. I am not doing this, by the way. All right, so rotate and snick. Ah, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood?
SL62. Switchblade knife found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. Oh. She was hiding evidence? In her scarf? In the muffler? What? This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one. Really.
Department in disorder.
This knife is special. but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department. A detective. That's hush information, IG. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
But wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Order! Anyway, we at the department were all as flustered as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay. Cross-examination time.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman.
Let's press this.
Hold it!
This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain.
Can't or won't.
It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Please don't call me Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. Let's see. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6, maybe it's a case number? That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Oh, the piece of paper, in Goodman's trunk. I mean, not Goodman's trunk, Edgeworth's trunk. Maybe I should check the court record again. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there it is. Oh, if you look at it upside down, it says 221 SL9. Huh. Okay. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. Wait, was I stumped? So, How were things down at the department?
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
All right, evidence.
Objection!
Wait a second. At last, an honest-to-goodness objection!
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? And honest-to-goodness, what do you mean for Mudgy? This is great. I should get out more.
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7S 12/2?
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But you turn it around and what do you get?
Aha!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that is written on this knife tag. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order. Well, Chief. Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto.
I win? What game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Hold it!
So this knife was stolen.
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon?
Nice. Good show, little wordy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
Well, that was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Hold it!
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, right, old my boy. Sure. Hungry. Like a dog. A wild dog. Not actually a dog, but hungry like a fox.
So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask?
What?
No matter. I understand you were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess.
Hold it!
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Archie?
I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you can help, righto?
I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Okay,
Crap. All right, I assume he was found at the police department. How was the victim killed? Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Oh, that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. Imagine that.
a knife.
That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. You're cooking now. That's not the only thing that was exactly the same.
What do you mean?
There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death.
It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. I hate auto-advancing text!
All right, more pressing.
On the same day, ba-ba-ba-bum.
Okay,
Rap.
Oh, are you going to give me another chance? Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Okay, tell me another thing.
So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room?
Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy?
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details.
It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
Okay, let's see. I guess I will press this one.
Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really? Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department yet, okay?
Hold it!
If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Let's see. Division, ID number, gender. Division, maybe? Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in? Oh, you want to know that, do you? Ha ha! Criminal Affairs, Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases. Homicide. That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe.
Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too.
It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives.
Except this serial killing happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking.
Okay.
My mind immediately jumped to Angel Star, but she has an alibi for 5:15.
So it's not her. Huh. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to hold on to that one for just a little bit. Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence.
And that knife. What was it doing there?
I'd better check this knife out. Again? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Crap.
I can't just investigate and look at it, can I?
I don't know, maybe I can. Hold on.
Let's see. All right, yeah, okay, let's try now.
Nope, I don't see anything.
Does it not have anything to do with the tip being broken or these smudges? There is absolutely nothing on this knife, except for what I've already seen. Oh, let's see. All right, well, it let me get a second piece of information. So maybe it'll give me the third one as well. Apparently I can get him to tell me everything as long as I keep asking. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
It's like me and phone numbers. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. 5842189.
Oh, why not?
What are the odds, right?
Oh, I've been saying that Goodman was moved to the trunk. Maybe he wasn't moved from where I thought he was.
Actually, it does, Your Honor, it does.
I think. I gotta check something first.
Meaning...
It has to be what I think it is.
But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
That's it!
Take that!
Goodman's body was moved. Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
What? No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news?
Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do.
All right, here we go.
The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is this yours?
No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82, I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right again. The number on the number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright? What does this mean?
That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman.
What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet, a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time and in a completely different location.
Order! Chief, what does this mean?
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Now, wait just a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said, wait, or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they are yours.
What? How dare?
We informed you yesterday. I believe was our officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but Mr. Edgeworth, we're on the premises. I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. I don't remember what voice I gave him. Sorry. You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then
Well, no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy.
Man, this guy really has it in for Edgeworth. What?
Now what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright? It's Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Raito over here. Good job, Raito, my boy.
I was just doing my job. No.
It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Please, just give me 1 day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do.
you'd better get results this time. Really.
You have my profound apologies, sir. Or Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant 1 further day, as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Okay, to be continued. Okay. So, because Edgeworth didn't accept that report that Meekins brought by yesterday, some very important information could not legally be presented to the court. So, the chief of police, his own damn self, had to come down and get me to draw the information out of him by proving it was relevant to this case. And holy carpet, some seriously illuminating information. Goodman was not killed in the parking lot of the prosecutor's office. He was killed in the evidence room of the police headquarters, which is a 30-minute drive away. I'd guess that he'd been killed elsewhere and then, moved to Edgeworth's trunk, but I never suspected he'd been moved that far. I'm guessing that whoever killed Goodman broke into Edgeworth's trunk, because the lock is broken, and hid him there to frame Edgeworth. Given his reputation and recent troubles, he's a pretty decent scapegoat. I'm also guessing that Lana discovered this somehow and tried to remove the body from his trunk, and that is what Angel Star saw. Whether Lana believes Edgeworth actually did it or not is still up in the air, but I really do think she's protecting him. Anywho, even though the judge seemed ready to give us a verdict of not guilty, Edgeworth has asked for another day to get to the bottom of all thisness. Proving that even when prosecuting someone close to him who is quite clearly protecting him, he doesn't let personal feelings interfere with his job. It's almost noble. Almost. So, in the next episode, we'll have some more investigating to do to try to find a new suspect that we can pin this murder on. In the meantime, up here is a playlist of my complete playthrough of Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator, and down here is a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Speaking of, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!